target. Get clear on what you want. Raise your hand if that pertains to you. Yeah, that is so big. You know what? That's one of my greatest challenges, because I'm clear, and then what keeps coming up? Opportunities. And then I'm kind of clear. And then I go back to clear. No, literally, you know, when you have a millionaire mind like we teach, and when you understand business, and when you I'll give it simple. When you are an expert marketer, a what? Expert marketer. Then you know you can do well with anything. Yeah. Now it gets even harder. When you're an expert marketer, when you're excellent in business, it doesn't matter what the product or service is. It's going to go through the roof as soon as you touch it. Understand? Yes or yes? And so now the choices get even, you know, anything, just anything. Oh, that's amazing. That would serve somebody. We need that. And so it's constant. This is a constant battle. My biggest issue is definitely still focus. But it's not, see, I don't let myself get taken out. Whereas before, my mind freak would say, well, that's good, I'll do that. I did them all, you know, but now I stay vertical. I stay what? So I add things to peaks, but I don't go off into 20 other things. That's the big difference. Understand? And it's made all the difference in the world. You can grow vertical, but you only grow horizontal when you're rich. And I'm rich, but I still find there's so many opportunities right here. Why should I do that? Understand? So it works. It says, get clear on what you want. The number one reason most people don't get what they want is because they don't know what they want. Clarity is power. Rich people don't send mixed messages to the universe. Poor people do. Just want to high five and say, you're awesome. Raise your hand if you enjoyed Marshall Thurber last night. Raise your hand if you can understand Marshall Thurber last night. There was about a quarter you just no, sorry. You know, Marshall is such a genius. He is a genius, okay? He don't forget who his mentors were. There's how many people you know who not just read a book, but will study under, like an apprentice, Buckminster Fuller or Edward Deming. I mean, there's only what? One or two people in the world who's ever done anything like that. Understand? Yes? And so literally what I like to do is I'm kind of the opposite of Marshall. Like literally, you know, he's very conceptual, and he'll tell you the why and how and everything, and then it comes to a word, and you've got the word. And that'll take like 40 minutes to get to that word. And you'll go, wow, that is so brilliant. And I'll just write the word on the thing. And you go, everybody knows that. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, when Marshall said something, we'll do some marketing stuff this morning, but when Marshall, for example, talked about dynamic value, and what did he say about dynamic value that you don't have to create your own? What do you have to do? Align, right? Align with them. What did we say the other night? What did we call that? Piggyback, right? Piggyback. He says align. I say piggyback. The same thing, okay? So literally, we've said very similar things. And today, this morning, we're going to talk about marketing. Very special marketing, yes? But it's going to be simple. What's it going to be? Simple. And then I'll intertwine what I do, and I'll say, remember what Marshall said? There it is, right there. But it's simple and usable. Yes or yes? Yes or yes? All right. All right. So this morning we're going to talk about creating the ultimate marketing strategy. Are you ready? Are you ready? All right. And in this section, watch for the words, I know that. What are you going to watch for? Because I don't care how many times you've read it or heard it or talked about it. If you're not rich yet, you don't know it. That's my guider right there. It's simple. If you're not rich yet, you don't know this. Understand? So again, I like to keep it simple. What do we like to do? And what I'm going to do is I'm going to keep it really simple, just like the first couple of days, and everything I hope I teach is in that way. And there's a lot to learn in marketing. You can study marketing for 4 years and not even scratch the surface. But who cares? Who needs to know all that? You know, you don't need to know all that to get rich. You need to know what you need to know to get rich, yes? So, I'm more than suggesting that those of you who can get in, go to World's Greatest Marketing Seminar. I'm more than suggesting that. Like, if I could take you to the back, turn you upside down, dump out your credit card, put it over there, force you to sign it, send you back home, and then drag you into the room, I would do that. If I was your brother. I'd say, this is your base. So you have to have a base. I have to have a base. And then I need to work with that base, but in echelons that are a little bit more advanced. Yes? But today we're going to have a base that can get you started right now. Yes? All right. And again, I'm going to keep it simple, but you have to have this base. Now, even myself, every time, what time? Every time I do this piece, I even say to myself, I go, oh, I should be doing more of that. Raise your hand if you know what I'm talking about here. It's kind of like you're even teaching that. You're going, oh, I should be doing more of that. Yes? Constantly. Okay, here we go. Are you ready? Yes. No, you're not ready. Are you ready? Yes. Very important stuff here. It's going to make you rich. All right. Those are the letters you need to know. What are they? M, 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 B. Well, I'm glad that lesson's gone. Whew. That was a good. I told you we keep it simple. All right. The first M. What to say, please? One more time, please. Market. Your market. Who is your target audience? Right? What does that mean? Listen to my words now, because I'm giving you the goods. I'm giving you the what? I'm giving you the goods and what makes it different between strong marketing and weak marketing, rich marketing and poor marketing. There's very specific words I'm using, even though I'm keeping it simple. Listen to the words. Who is your target audience most likely to buy? What was the key word there? Buy. That's between broke and rich people. Rich people look for buyers. Get it? Big mistake is to try to be all things to all people. And what happens? You end up as what? No things to no people. Let me say this right now. For everyone in this room, unless you're doing $100 million a year in revenue, it is way too expensive for us to try and play in the big boys league. Plus, I don't want to. I don't want to play in that game, all right? Only the big boys with billions to spend on advertising can play in that league, and that's not very street smart. So the secret is to be this. Oh, I should ask for a volunteer here. Ooh, it's not doing too bad. Blew it. Okay. Well, maybe if I tell them what it is, they'll know. What do you have to be? Yeah! I'm so happy a group got it. What is that? It's supposed to be a gill. Where is it? Oh. It's here? Does it look the same? Here? I don't know. I kind of like this guy here, don't you? At least my art makes you feel good about yours, all right? It says, you go, hey, I thought I was a crappy artist, but now I know what crap really looks like, all right? I like that all the time. People go, oh my God, if he can get rich, anybody can do this. My jeepers. All right. So the first key is to identify your what? Your specific market. Your what? Your primary best prospects. And the more you can define the person who buys, the more you know about them, the better you can find and serve them. Now, don't write down everything. Just write down the main headings, and then I'll tell you like pieces you need to write down. You need to write this one down. Here it goes. If you can't define them, this is important. If you can't define them, you can't find them. One more time. If you can't define them, you can't find them. All right, how do we define them? How to define them? There's two ways. The first one's called what? Demographics. Tell me what demographics are. Give me examples. Income, age, sex, yes, sometimes, never, always, whatever. What else? Gender, homeowners, what is it? Geographics, where do they live? Yes. Income, good, income. So most of these things, guys, most of these things are more physically oriented, yes? All right, what's the next opportunity? What does that mean? How they think, and that pertains to what? What else they buy, what their interests are, and what their attitudes are, and what else they read, and what else they do, and what else they buy. Yes? What motivates them, right? But what motivates them is, again, you want to kind of do more specific than what motivates them. So again, what do they do? What do they read? What do they buy? Right? Where do they go? Where do they hang out? All right. For now, their lifestyle. So psychographics is more mental and more mentally oriented, attitude-wise. It's also their lifestyle preferences. Yes? Yes? Now, example. We're in a business seminar. Tell me, who are the best prospects, the best market, if we're offering a business seminar? Us doesn't do it, but thank you. Business people, entrepreneurs, is that right? No, but thank you. Women, who said women? Is that right? No. I said the best. What did I say? Look, raise your hand if you want to get rich. All right? If you want to get rich, what do you have to do? Cut to the chase. People want to make money? Close. No. What was that? Someone just said it. People want to what? People who've been to other seminars. Very close. Personal development. People what? There you go. There it is. People who have purchased other business seminars. What did I say? I said the best prospect. Now you don't have to guess. Well, they're, two-income family living in 48 miles from the area, and their preference is to read Mad Magazine. And forget that stuff. Who's the number one buyer? The one who already bought it, who already proved they like it by buying the same or similar thing. Right? Who do you want to sell a racing bike to? Someone who's bought a racing bike before. What do you want to convert the world? You understand? Cut to the, that's what we're doing here. We're simple, but we cut to the what? Chase. If I'm looking for people to go in this seminar, who's my best prospects other than people in my normal rooms? People who have what? Bought similar seminars. Okay, what about second? What about the people said, because this one is very good too. People who have purchased other, for example, business books and business magazines. Yes or yes? No. No, that is not how you get rich. That is how you stay mediocre like everybody else who goes and gets their MBA. Buying a book is radically different than getting your ass up and going to a seminar. A live event is different. Yes or yes? True or true? Remember, cut to the chase. You're going to go for the people who have bought something very similar before because they've proven they want that. And now you'll have a couple of questions to ask. Okay, so the ultimate secret, your best market will be those who have purchased a product or service similar to yours before. So here's what I want you to do. Pens and papers out, ready to go. We're going to put this to use. Define your ideal customer in terms of demographics and psychographics. So who are they, what do they do, and what else do they buy? And it better be something like you, yes? Yes? And do it as close as if you're doing a missing persons report to the police department. Describe them. Picture them. Okay? Physically and mentally. And again, this could be for your current business or for a new prospective business you've been thinking about or just a model business to use for the exercise. But you need to have a business that you're using this with. Don't just sit there. If you're not sure what business, pick a business that you've been working with or a new one. You say, you know what, maybe I'll start, I don't know, I'm thinking between these 17. I have to choose. Okay, well then just pick one for now to start with. You've got to get this into writing, into action. When? Now, I don't want it stuck in your head. It's got to be in writing. Go. 2 minutes. It'll be the most important 2 minutes of your life. Again, we're talking about your best prospects, yes? The best target market. I'll give you a quick example. Hold up for just a second. Hold up. The last thing I want you to write is everybody. Everybody who has teeth. I'm a dentist. Yeah, you're a broke dentist. But that's what people do. First of all, raise your hand if you're having a little bit of a challenge doing this. Okay, that's good. You know why that is? Because it's new for you. That's all. Because it's new for you. And you haven't really, honed in on it. Now, the other thing, too, is everyone who's done things like what we're doing this morning before, I want you to put on a whole new thinking cap. Take your hands. Put on a whole new thinking cap, a brand new one. Very good. And what that means is that you're going to the next level. Say, I'm going to the next level. Going to the next level. You're finding markets that you hadn't tapped into before. You're defining them even closer, even tighter. Does that make sense? Better than what you did before. All right, let's see. Raise your hand in the room. I want everyone to look around too. Raise your hand in the room if you are under 20 years old. Under 20. Thank you. Okay, thank you. Raise your hand if you've been 21 to 29. Thank you. Raise your hand if you are 30 to 35. Thank you. 35 to 50. Thank you. 50 to 60. Thank you. 60 and above. Thank you. So, tell me, what is the primary? Every market's important. Yes or yes? Yes or yes? What was our primary market? Yeah, basically 35 to 55. Younger than that, very important. Older than that, very important. But if I'm going to put my money in one group, where does it have to be? Yeah, and you're going to have periphery, sure. Yeah, absolutely. You see what I mean? Yeah. Okay. You have another 30 seconds. Here's the declaration. Hand on your heart, please. Shh. I clearly identify and know my target market.
I clearly identify and know my target market.
Again.
I clearly identify and know my target market.
One more time, twice as loud.
I clearly
Turn to somebody, give them a high five, and say, you have a gorilla business mind. And have a seat, have a seat. All right, the next M. The next M stands for massage, right? What's it stand for? One more time. Your message, your message. Shh, 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 shh. Now, this is very important. The order. Say the order is important. And well, let me say that right now. That's where most people get screwed up. Nobody's taught them the order of this, so they don't know. It says they don't know the order. They just know, create this or do that, and it's all jumbled up and it doesn't fit together. So it's got to fit together. Say it's got to fit together. Your message. Now, what is your message? Well, it's once you know who you're talking to, what do we want to tell them and how? Because if you don't know who you're talking to, let's say, isn't it true that you would say things differently in a different way and tone to a 18-year-old than a 78-year-old? A woman than a man, possibly. Yes or yes? You'd certainly use different colors. Yes or yes? You see? But that's the problem. People say, well, here's what my message is. Who are you talking to? Well, I'm talking to people. You're going to have a crappy message. Your message won't be effective because you're talking to people. Got it? Yes or yes? Yes or yes? Everyone smile. Thank you. I didn't want to feel like you were mad at me or something. Okay. Now here it is. Rich people understand this. Say, rich people understand this. You must answer the two key questions that they're always asking. There's only two questions they're asking. You must answer them. Say, I must answer them. If I don't answer them, I'll be broke. If I do answer them, I'll be rich. I choose to answer them. What are they? I think I might have left them in the room. Here they are. Number one, why should I buy this? Or why should I buy it? Number one, why should I buy this? How simple is that? Can you answer that? If you could, you'd be doing really well. And number two, why should I buy it from you? That's all they're asking. Every single sale, every single situation. Why should I buy it? Tell me why I should buy it, and tell me why I should buy it from you. That's it. Everything else is a bunch of fluff. Useless. Icing. How simple is this? Hey, this is hard. This is really simple. Okay, now, those are the two questions. Now, I have to understand that what you think is important, but what your market thinks is critical. You must think in terms of benefits to your specific audience. So when it comes to your industry, do people think of you first? Do they think of you at all? The idea is to position, or listen closely to the word, brand yourself. What's the word? Brand yourself into their mind so that when they think of this, they think of you. Now, people go, well, oh, come on, I have a small business. Nobody thinks of me when they're thinking of this. Okay, you're broke. The goal for peak potential is that when people think of learning and growing, they think of peaks. You know, I wonder what peaks is going on here. When's my next course with peaks? Or someone says, well, you know, I'm struggling in my business. And you go, you know, I just took this program with an amazing company, Peak Potential. You should check these guys out. Yes? That they don't say somebody else or something else or a book, which is fine, but that at least they include peaks. That's what our goal is. Yes or yes? Can you do that? Say, I can do that. Now watch what I do. People don't realize what the word branding is. Branding, what is it? Someone said it. That's right, very good. It's not a very nice way of saying it, but branding comes from brand, like a branding iron, and what do? Psst, you burn it into their mind. You're burning it. You're leaving an imprint for what? Forever. That's what good branding is. What do you do and how do you do it? And psst, can you do that with everyone you touch? Well, if you're pointed, you have a strong brand, strong on what you do, clear, that's what will happen. Otherwise, it's just like a big spray and the thing you just got a shower, a big deal to go somewhere else and dry it off. Understand? But it's got to be a sizzling brand. Yes or yes? So you have to get noticed. You have to be sharp. You know, the average person is bombarded with over 3,000 commercial type messages a day. So the message of, listen closely, who you are and what you do and why I should buy from you over everyone else has to be direct and definite and sharp. So it clears through all the what? Clutter. And one of the ways to stand out is with, as Marshall said yesterday, your Who said unicorn? Some people. Your what? Your uniqueness. Marshall took 40 minutes to talk about uniqueness last night, yes? Which is very good. Understand uniqueness, the importance of it. So, we have another way of saying that you've heard of before, and the only question is, how well are you doing this? What's the word? USP. What does it stand for? Tell somebody else what it stands for. Unique selling proposition. What is a unique selling proposition? Although people have different names for the same thing. What is a unique selling proposition? It is what? Your differentiator. It's your primary distinguishing feature over everyone else. It's your specialty. It's your business thumbprint. Again, it's what differentiates you from everyone else. You say, but Harv, I mean, I'm a massage therapist. I mean, okay, I'm going to, now after Gorilla Business School, I'm going to open a massage therapy corporation and have several people work, but I'm still a massage therapist, okay? Well, what differentiates me? I mean, I do massage, I do massage, and 4 people do massages right in my neighborhood. What? If you don't have anything that differentiates you, you're broke and always will be and deserve to be. That's your job. Your job is to come here, learn about this, and create, what's the word? A difference between you and everybody else. If you don't have one, why should they come to you? Well, I'm $10 less. That sucks. Why does that suck? Why does the price list suck? Because with one swipe of a pen, everyone else has your uniqueness now. You're $10 less? I'll show you. I'm $11 less. How's that? Oh, I worked for 12 years to be $10 less and burned that into everybody's mind. And now this person's on, and now they want $11 less. Oh no, what do I do? It was a crappy, unique proposition to begin with. You're not Walmart. On the other hand, you could be. There's a very interesting at ASU, where my daughter goes to school, Arizona State. She said that, like, I go to this place for massage called the Golden Door. Okay, anybody ever hear something like that? Now, it's a great place, but it's $150 for a 50-minute massage. Sucks, okay? The massage is good, but I hate paying $150, right? And plus the 20% and the this, and then before you walk out, there's $200. Like, what? I mean, hello, I say I don't like getting ripped, right? But I live very close to there, so I go there, right? And a little treat. So, but my daughter, I bring her up once in a while for a massage, but you know what? She says, Dad, you have to come to my massage therapist. I go, why? He says, he's better than all of those. And I have some pretty good ones over there. I said, really? And she says, guess what? $31. I said, what, for like 20 minutes? She goes, an hour. I said, who would do that? He says, this guy does it. He does it. and he makes a decent living, and he's packed every, it's not what we teach, obviously, but just think. See, almost everyone has taken on the price side, I'm not saying to do a price list, but on the price, everybody's bumping up. But the more they bump up, if you could do a volume situation, and you could actually create a company, that worked on volume, strong massage therapists, but they were busy all the time, no marketing, no nothing, and they made basically, for a 30-minute massage, it was $20 or $40 or even $35. Well, you can get $35 massages for an hour. Who would take it? It was a great massage. You see, you take it. So the question is, can you make that as a business? Now, I'm not saying you could, but if you could, that could be a unique proposition. You would be the Walmart of massage. Not to say you want to be, but you could be. Why? You'd be the category killer, you understand? You'd have 40 massage therapists in rooms just lined up, and everybody would be packed to come. You change the industry. Maybe not for the better, but you change it. Yes or yes? All right, so you got to have something strong. Okay, here's a USP. Who's the company? When it absolutely, positively has to get there. Who is it? Federal Express. Who used to own this USP? We talked about them the other day. 30 minutes or... The 30 minutes are free. Now, of course, they changed that. I believe it was for insurance purposes, wasn't it? Yeah, there's problems there. User-friendly computers. Windows was the copycat of that. Who was it? Apple, thank you. The ultimate driving machine. BMW. Low everyday prices. Walmart, thank you. So you know where to go for those things. Now, here's the difference between what rich people understand and what broke people understand. Rich people understand that your USP must be customer-oriented. That's how you derive it. It's not about you, it's about them. That's the big difference. It has to be a benefit specifically to your target audience. Why would you have a unique proposition that your target audience doesn't give a hoot about? We're open 24 hours a day. So what? I'm sleeping 16 of them. Who cares? I don't care if you're open 24 hours. I never go out after 11 o'clock, okay? I'm 6 years old. My mom doesn't let me out, okay? I don't go at 3 in the morning, Dumbo. You understand what I'm saying? Yes or yes? And that's the other too. Well, my unique proposition is da-da-da. I'm so great because da-da-da. And do your customers or your target market, do they care about that? Well, not really, but hey, that's my strength. That's a terrible strength because nobody cares about it. Understand? You have to have a strength that they want. That's the difference. So now you understand why it's critical to know who your customer is so you can build your brand and your USP around them. To create the best USP, you must know what's important to him or her. What do your specific customers want? Do they want the highest quality? Do they want the lowest price? Do they want the fastest service? Do they want internet convenience or do they want personalized service? Understand? Do they want you to be the fastest, the closest, the healthiest? Things like, are you open the longest, the easiest, the largest selection? Same-day service, double-back money guarantee, repairs in 3 hours or less. What's important to your customers? Are you the oldest in their business? Are you the original? Would that be a USP? Would it? What does that depict? Yes. Credibility, yes. We're the old, we've been around the longest. We're the first in the entire business. Talk about USPs. We had a student who needed a print job done several years ago. And wasn't like today with the whole, paper on the internet and the whole thing. He went to 6 different printers, and the fastest they could do it was a 3-day turnaround, 3 days. One printer gave him the clue. He said, sorry, everybody wants their printing done overnight. So he had an idea. He immediately saw the problem, which meant he saw the what? Opportunity. He bought a print shop the next week. And he created the USP of 24-hour turnaround, open 24 hours a day. Well, he had to be open 24 hours a day to do the 24-hour turnaround anyways. Understand? Within a year, somebody bought him out. He made $260,000. Good or good? And the guy wasn't rich before that. He bought the whole thing on credit. Bought it from a really old guy at a really old shop. Now, your USP often becomes a part of your name. Say, it becomes part of my name or my tagline or your motto. So his printing business was simply called 24-hour printing. My company, Fitnessland, fast fitness in the convenience of your own home. So if somebody wants to go to the gym, they don't need me. They want to be in their home, and if they want to nicely, leisurely they got 2 hours to do a workout every day, they're not coming to my store. Why? Maybe they'll fluke in, but they're not my target market, are they? They're not my target. My target was people who want what? Fast. They got no time, and they need convenience. Yes or yes? Fast fitness in the convenience of your own home. And then people who just wanted to do it at home. They didn't want to go out to clubs. Peak potentials. Inner world principles for real world results. That's what we bank on. Now, one of the best USPs. Again, I'm going to cut to the chase. Say, Harv, cut to the chase. Let me give you one of the best ones. You can do 100 USPs, but this is going to have to be part of it. Say, this will have to be part of it. No, say, this is going to have to be part of it. Here's the position I want you to take. Everyone has to take this position as part of your USP. What's the position, please? The position of the expert. Say it again. Why? People love to deal with people who supposedly know what they're doing. Yes or yes? The key then is to provide, and this goes so beautifully together, information. What are you going to provide? Information, education. Now that's going to lead in, what's the word? That's going to lead into a lot of other things, including how you get your people to notice you and be exposed to them in the first place. Very important. It's all going to tie together. Do you see this? Raise your hand if you want to attract people to you. If you want people to come and know who you are and start to ask you about what you've got. Raise your hand. What's one of the fastest and best ways, one of those ways you, being a graduate of Guerrilla Business School, making peak potentials proud, you will be an expert and you will do it this way as one of your channels. Do you understand? One of your channels is that you are a what? And you provide people with what? Education. And by doing that, education and information, you'll be seen as the expert, and people will want to do business with you, and it is an attraction process. Instead of going over and going, hey Daniel, want to buy my thing? Which is a little bit more of a yin. It's more, I've got this, and it's a free report on the 10 biggest mistakes almost every computer consultant makes. Want the report? Click here. Or send over here. She reads the report. He goes, wow, this is good. And then on the bottom of it, it says, for more information on Peak Potentials trainings, or our new computer consulting workshop, how to get rich in computer consulting, call this. What's he going to do? He's calling. Aren't you? The answer is yes. Yeah, he said yes. You see the difference? Because it's an attraction process. So say it right now. I'm an expert. I become an expert. I prove I'm an expert by the education I deliver, which draws people in. Good or good? You can spend a lot of time. You can spend 58 hours trying to figure this out yourself, or just kind of, for now, don't believe a word I say, but take this to the bank. You have to take this position as one of your channels, one of your fingers going out there on the front end piece, which we'll talk about in a bit. Do you understand? I'm just cutting to the chase here. Okay. And you can all do that, right? Because it doesn't even have to be your information, does it? That's the thing. You can gather information. You can be the hub. What's the word? of the information. You can gather information and just send it out. If you want information on here's my website. We are the world's largest clearinghouse for people who have gotten rich in computer consulting. You know, we have 28 people who write articles and put information on the forum. This is my forum. You click in here if you've got advice for people. Are you going to go to that forum? Of course he is. It's my forum. I don't have to know anything. I don't even have to be one of them. Okay. Understand? Say, I got it, Harv. Give somebody a high five and say, you got it. Okay, let's go. So what are you going to do? You're going to write newsletters or e-zines. You're going to write articles. You're going to write reports. You're going to do radio interviews. You're going to write a booklet. You're going to write a book. It doesn't matter if anybody buys it. And you don't have to get rich from the book. I need a copy of my book up here. But it's nice if you do, because it can do both. But the book is there to what? Increase your what? Credit and attract new customers, possibility, prospects. Yes or yes? That's what it's there for. Thank you so much. Every person in this room, I want you to start using that strategy now. Even if you're a car mechanic. I know somebody here is a car mechanic. So you write or you hire someone to write an article or a little booklet, 10 pages long on a current car topic. Like, for example, the 10 top cars for the money. Or it could be something like, how to make sure you don't buy a lemon. All right, now imagine for a moment that someone comes into your auto shop for an estimate. And the receptionist says, hello, how are you? Can I offer you a coffee or some water? No, it's okay, da-da-da. Listen, while you're waiting, this is a book you should be reading, you want to read. It says, how to make sure you don't buy a lemon, or how to make sure you don't get ripped off when you deal with anyone around car mechanics or something like that. Whatever it is, right? And the person reads that, starting to read that. Now, and then she goes, and by the way, the owner of the shop is the author. What just happened? What just happened? The person doesn't even need an estimate anymore. They're getting their car handled by the author of the book. Yes or yes? And only that person or their crew, their hand-picked master craftsmen. Yes? And that's what you have to be. That's what you have to be. I have a student who was an average a chiropractor, averaged about, not bad, 50 to 60,000 a year. Took this course, started up, took World's Greatest Marketing Seminar last year. This year he wrote me, he's earned 440,000 so far. 400. And I don't remember the exact name of the booklet, but something to do with how to end back pain forever. No, what's the big deal? Okay, a lot of people know how to do it. Every chiropractor will say that, but he wrote there you go, and he used our techniques at World's Greatest to get the what? The book out there. It's a book. It's only 12 pages. Yes? Yeah, good. It's only a 12-page book. But everybody wants to go to him. He's got 4 other chiropractors in his clinic now. Of course, he took this. It went from, whatever his name, chiropractor, I don't want to mention the name, chiropractor to one of their clinic, and it's the Pacific something clinic now. Understand? Yes or yes? Please stand up. Guys, is this making any sense to anybody here? Are you getting things that are useful to you, can understand and use? All right, let's do a big stretch. I want to hear you. Oh, louder. Oh, and this way. Oh, and the other way. Oh, and backwards. Oh, and forward. Oh. Turn to someone, give them a double high five and say, you're awesome. And have a seat, have a seat. And have a seat. All right, now, so only what? One of your major, niches, one of your major USPs will be that you are a what? Expert. Now, here's what you're going to do. Your process, your writing process. Listen closely. In a moment, I'm going to ask you to write and revise or tighten a unique selling proposition for your current or prospective or model business. So if you already have a USP you've been using here, I want you to revise it. I want you to tighten it. I want you to make it 10 times better than what it was. Understand? Yes or yes? And include the expert position there. Now, I'm going to give you a little secret. Are you ready? Yes. No, you're not ready. Yes. That group's not ready. I'm ready. Yes. There's one guy ready right over here, okay? Are you ready? Yes. Listen closely. I'm going to give you a trick. A rich trick. You want it? Yes. Here it goes. The way to do this, one of the ways to do this is to be creative. What's the word? Creative. In your unique selling proposition. And you create your uniqueness, not based, bless you, not based on what you do or who you are right now, but you create it based on the ideal situation that could be out there, and you live into it. All right? I'll give you an example of what I'm talking about. You say to yourself, wouldn't it be great if someone in my arena would provide this? Understand? It may not be you, but you go, wouldn't it be amazing for that target audience, for that my group of people, if someone in my arena did that? Let's say, again, obviously the massage therapy clinic is just an easy no-brainer. If there was one that, because there's a lot of people who work very unusual hours, right? Wouldn't it be great if there was a massage therapy clinic that was open 24 hours a day? I mean, I'll tell you what, when I go home, I come home from the airport very often, it's 8 o'clock. I cannot, the thing closes at 8. I cannot get a massage. Wouldn't it be great if it was 24 hours and you could drop in without an appointment and maximum wait was 20 minutes or the massage is free? No planning, anytime, you got a little ache in your back, boom. Wouldn't it be great if the clinic had some other therapies too, including a chiropractic right there, 24 hours? She's in pain, I can tell right there. Yeah, she's either really in pain or really horny, one of the two. So, and she just happens to be sitting beside Steven. Is it really? Is Steve there? Is he there? Here he is! That's how I get it! There he is! It's true! I didn't even know! I had no clue! He's right there! He's beside her! I'm going, yes! 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 Shh. You're such a great audience. Okay. When you can become rich like this, because again, you're going to create the ultimate. Harv, what would be the ultimate training company? What if you were doing business training? What would be the ultimate thing you could do for people? How could you do it? When would the courses be? How long would the courses? How much would they cost? All these key. What's the key element that you understand? Key. That's how you build your business. Say, that's how I build my business. All right. Now let me give you an example. Imagine some guy, and this is like, whatever, 30 years ago. He got out of work late. 30 years ago, in case you don't know this, supermarkets, grocery stores, and even the little stores after 6 o'clock closed. You couldn't get it. He's got no milk. Okay, there wasn't even a convenience store in the gas stations. They didn't have those. Understand? Yes? Some of you know that, some of you don't. He's going home. He wants to have some cereal in the morning. There's no milk. You can't even have any cereals. No bananas, no milk. He said, what am I going to do in the morning, okay? And nothing open till like 9 o'clock. The supermarket's open at 10 o'clock. All right? So he's going, what am I going to eat? And he goes to himself, wouldn't it be great if there was just a small kind of grocery convenience type store that was open from earlier in the morning till late, like from 7 to 11? Can you imagine that someone could have said that? And what happened? 7-Eleven and a host of others and billion-dollar corporation. Yes or yes? That's how you do it. Wouldn't it? So the words are what? Wouldn't it be great if someone, again, in my industry, did this for the customer? All right. So here's what I want you to do. I want you to write or revise or tighten a strong USP for your business or your business to be. 2 minutes. Go. Tell me, what are the only 2 questions you need to answer? Why should I buy this and why should I buy it from? If your USP doesn't articulate and cannot convince them to buy this from you, it's not a USP that's worth its salt. How many have a little more work to do on this? All right. Because you're new. Say, I'm new at it. Yeah, so that's what happens. But now you've got the seed. What do we do here? We plant what? Seeds. You'll be thinking, as you'll be sleeping tonight, you'll be going, oh, what's the USP that people will just want? Oh, yes. Oh, I got to do that. I want that. Yeah, I want to get that from you. You know, I have a hairstylist ready, but I didn't know you did that. I'm coming to you. Where's your shop? Yes or yes? Or whatever it is. Okay, now, shh. So, let's go to the next M. Next M, very important. Again, today, we have a focus on marketing in several ways. And we're going to give you as much as we possibly can as far as rich marketing and the foundation that you can all get started with and do very well. Understand? Okay, so I'm doing the best we can with that. If you want to take advanced programs, that's going to be totally up to you. But let's get as much as we can of hot stuff that's important right now. Foundation, yes? And again, I heard this before. If you're not rich, you must have had your ears plugged because you're not doing it. If you do this stuff, you will do very well. Do you understand? You don't have to be, a baseball player doesn't have to hit a home run on every pitch. They don't have to get a hit. A baseball player, if they get 1 out of 3 at-bats, hits the ball as a hit, they're going to make $20 million a year. If they have an over 330 average, they $20 million bucks a year to hit the ball 1 out of 3 times. Got it? Say, I don't have to be perfect. But I do have to do this. Okay, this is your 1 out of 3. There you go. All right, next one right here. The next M, the third M is called what? Medium. One more time, please. Medium. What's your medium? What does that mean? What is it? Yes, your vehicle. Thank you. So once you know who the market is, and once you know what you want to tell them, you have to know how you're going to what? Reach them. Especially in a way that doesn't cost an arm and a leg. Because you know what? There's a lot of ways to reach people. Dozens of ways to promote your product or service. Everything from advertising on radio and television, print magazine, newspaper, all those things. Yes or yes? And of course the internet today is huge. But again, those only if you know what you're doing on that. Now here's the thing. I can teach you how to create wonderful ads in newspapers and stuff, but you're throwing away your money. You're throwing away your money. Not all of it, but most of it. Because it's not a niche. It's not targeted stuff, okay? If you pay for a newspaper ad by the circulation and readership. Yes or yes? So an ad costs you $5,000 for this big an ad, right? Now, if you go to a paper that has 1,000 times the readers, it'll cost you $50,000 for that big of ad. Yes? Now here's the problem. Are all the readers of that newspaper your target audience? So you are paying for the people who are going to read this, who probably won't read it, but you're paying for those people by the per quarter penny that your money is going to that aren't going to give a hoot about what you do. Would you do that? Would you do that? No, but they do that every day. Why? Because they don't know any better. It's the only thing they do know. It's easy. Here, throw an ad in the newspaper. Great. So we don't say, we're gorillas. No, that's how you say gorillas. We're gorillas. Very good. We're gorillas. We don't play that game. All right. Okay, I can give you, and at World's Greatest we'll go deep into this, and you'll be specialists in certain areas, but can I just give you 2 down and dirty, wealth-producing, easy mediums that you can all do quickly that will make you a fortune? Can we just whittle it down to a couple for now, a couple of studs, a couple of diamonds, yes? All right, you've heard of them before, but again, it doesn't matter what you heard. These, in my opinion, are ways that you do it. And by the way, why do you think I believe in these 2 ways? That's right, because I get really rich doing these 2 things. That's the only way I can tell you, yes? All right, I give you, what I do is I give you what works. I don't teach you what doesn't work for me. Or I can tell you don't do it, but I give you what works, what I keep coming back to. Yes or yes? All right, the first one is called this. What's it called, please? Referral marketing. Referral marketing. Now you go, well, I've heard of that. I do that. Yeah, no, you don't, because you're not rich. If you're rich, you're doing it. Not only is this extremely inexpensive, but word of what? Word of mouth is the most credible promotion there is. Do you remember a fellow last night named Marshall Thurber? What was he talking about? Something called network science. And what was he talking about? Having a what? Getting into a what? A hub. And what was another key element of the hub? It starts with an I. You must have a what? Influencer. Influencer. He spent an hour trying to let you know how important it was in the scheme of the world that you must align yourself with an influencer. Yes or yes? Do you remember the analogy of the Pope? That's a big analogy. I'm trying to tell you something, you're a Catholic, you don't listen to me, but I call it the Pope. The Pope says this, yes, I'll do it. Yes or yes? Who's your popes? That's right. Your customers are your Pope. That's a really crappy analogy, but whatever, you get it. Now, here's the problem. Most businesses miss the boat because they don't have this. What's it say? It says a formal referral program. In fact, I'm going to change this. This is what I want you to see. Very close to it. Now what's it say? Having a formal referral what? There you go. Referral system in place. For example, Peak Potentials Training. What do we have? We have what? We have Ambassador Program. We don't just say, hey, Daniel, listen, have you liked the course? Yeah, great, thank you, appreciate it. Would you maybe want to tell your friends if you, great thing? He went, sure. That's how almost everybody operates, if they do anything. True or true? Everyone make a big fart with me. Big fart, that's nothing. There's nothing there. What a blow up. Like, who needs that? Don't bother. Save your breath. That's not a formal system. That sucks. That doesn't do anything. You're going to bank your livelihood on, Julia, listen, I know you like the program and stuff. Maybe you want to tell your friends once in a while. You're going to bank your kids' education on that? I don't think so. There's very few people who understand the power of the credibility of this, but have turned it into a what? System. And that's what we do. Why do you think you're all here pretty well? For two particular reasons. I'm showing you the other one after. But one of them is that anytime I go into a business, I know I'm going to do well, because the first thing I'm going to do is with my first customer on, and before I have a customer, I'm going to have a formal referral system in place. In 1999, the first program I did back out of retirement was called Speed Wealth, and that night was the first thing I did for about, 700 people, and when they walked out the door, they walked out with tickets to come have their friends come to another event. I hadn't even started yet. But I already had the system in place. Get it? Say, I got it. See, this is a powerful marketing method. People ask us all the time, what do you do for marketing? What do we do? Well, we do this and this and that. Well, we hear you. What do you? They do word of mouth. Oh, yeah. Well, how do you do that? Well, I kind of just ask people and give them some materials. What do you think I'm going to tell them? I'll tell you, because you're my guys. I don't tell them, so you don't tell them. Okay, hands on your heart. I solemnly swear. You understand how powerful this is? It's not the, would you like to maybe tell a few people about my business? Oh, here's a better one. Here's my business card. Can you give a couple of business cards out? Everyone do this. That's better, but it still sucks. It's a single fart instead of a double one. Come on. What is that? Everybody does that. That sucks. What do you have to do? You have to create a formal system. A system, a formal one. Okay? So, it's not an afterthought. It's a primary thing. So, here's some elements that have to be there. Again, this is just to be a starting point. When you go to your world's greatest marketing summit, you will be designing you will not walk out of there without it ready to go, full on. Let's get started though right now. Yes or yes? A couple of elements, few elements that have to be in place are things like, what's the name of your formal system? No name? What formal system is that? How does it work? What are the rules? What are the rewards to referrers? Do you have rewards? No. What's in it for them? What materials do you provide people so they can go out and be your talking signs, billboards? And that's just a start. But you know what? You do that, you're going to get what? Rich. Yes or yes? All right. So, write it down. Let's do a start. 2 minutes. Start your formal system right now. What's the name? How does it work? What are the rewards? What are the materials you're going to give them? Go. Question, how was the first one? How was the first strategy? Raise your hand. Shh. Raise your hand if you believe you understand the power of the first strategy. Remember, between Marshall and myself, and what we're teaching you here, it is the most powerful method. You must have a pope. You must have an influencer. That's the best way to get credibility, best way to get people to come to you. Yes, yes. The problem is that most people don't have a formal system. That makes all the difference in the world. How many can recognize that? That if you had a formal system would double, triple, quadruple your business easily. Yes or yes? Easily. Easily. It's a no-brainer. Now, here's the better part. Listen to this. It's exponential. Because if this system, watch this. This is so cool. So your influencers, whatever, you use this system. It doesn't cost you that much money. But let's say, for example, this system, here's your business. And with the formal referral system, you increase your business to this full. See it? What has to happen? What has to happen? Since you're using these people, this produced that. See, it's not something outside produced that. This produced that. Therefore, since this produces this, what has to happen? This produces that. You see, it didn't come from outside. The power of, it's exponential. Say, my goodness, this is cool. That's why the rooms are so full. Understand? Because this is what produced that. So this, when you get to that, has to produce. And now, what happens on the next round? Now, raise your hand if you've ever been involved or heard of network marketing. Very powerful concept. Yes? Yeah. And for a lot of people, it's the right thing to do, for sure. If you're in it, great. If you're not in it, whatever. But it's the same concept. But you're not in network marketing. But you are. But that's not your business. But it is. You're in it. You're using the leverage of the concept, but you're not in that particular business. You're in your business. Does that make any sense? Okay, answer some questions after. Okay, next one. You want another powerhouse? If it's going to be powerful, it's going to have to come from the same mold. It's going to, because the most powerful is it's all about trust. At World Race, you're going to learn. You don't have no idea how important the trust word is. You have no idea how important it is. You're going to learn that. It's going to be ingrained in the cells. But so influencers, credibility, trust is the key. Say, credibility is the key. Trust is the key. So then if that is the critical element, that you're hearing it from someone who you trust, then the second one, if it's going to be powerful, has to bank on the same principle. Yes or yes? Just another channel of the same thing. I'll do it this way. And of course, we mean emailing too. What's it say? Joint venture endorsed mailings. Again, I come from a very strong direct marketing background. I used to spend days finding the best list to rent to send my mailings. Now, don't forget, in those days, there was no such thing as email. Some of you going, whoa, was it like prehistoric or something? I guess so. No email. All mail was mail with a stamp or a insignia, what's it? A postage meter on it. So it was something with an envelope, somebody licked it, the whole bit, okay? Now, and it was very, very, very what? Say it, very what? Very expensive to mail like that. That's how I became a strong copywriter, because if you're not a strong copywriter, you are going to lose millions. Because if your copy it costs you tens of thousands to put a little mailer out there. If your letter alone can't draw a check in the mail or a credit card on the phone, you're history. That's how powerful your communication must be. Does that make sense? You don't have second shots, and if whatever you're doing doesn't get open, it's in the garbage anyway. So you got to be hot at it. Yes or yes? So that was the business I was in, and I did pretty good with certain ones, of course. And my average was a pretty average for people in this business who did well. You know, obviously, if you didn't do well, you weren't in the business. And it was a response rate generally known as 0.2%. What's the number? 0.2%, fairly normal response. I mean, 0.2% of everyone of all the mailers you sent out actually ordered whatever you were getting. Raise your hand if you ever heard of a gentleman by the name of Mark Victor Hansen. Okay, close friend of mine. And he says this. So this is obviously a while ago. We were at a party together, and I told him about my new seminar. And the seminar was called Get Rich Doing What You Love. And I had been speaking and kind of like meandering around this whole thing, but literally I hadn't run any large seminars yet in the United States. And I'd been doing, consulting in small groups and stuff in Canada, and kind of bringing the stuff down in the States, but not marketing myself just to groups that were there. And I decided I would fill up my own room for the first time. There, I didn't know anybody. I didn't know anybody in San Diego. I would just moved down there. I wasn't even in that business really. And so I said, okay, well, I'm going to see how this works out here. So I used what I use in the direct mail arena. And I said to him, here's my seminar. And I told him a little bit about it. He said, you know what? It would be great if my students took your seminar. That'd be a great thing for them. And I said, then why don't you send a letter out to your students? And if anyone buys the course, I'll give you, first of all, I'll give them a better deal saying, if you're a Mark Victor Hansen student, you get this. Would that be good for them? He goes, that'd be great, thank you. And I said, plus I'll give you 20% of the revenue of anything I take in because of your, as a thank you. He goes, that's wonderful, that's super, let's try it. Now, I'm not saying that I was the original person who was involved in joint venture endorsements, but I never heard of it before, and I certainly was in the business heavily, and I'm sure other people did it, but it's around the beginning of it. That's all I can tell you. Now, everybody does it poorly, but they do it. Understand? We do it, but not poorly. Understand? Okay. So that's what happened. He said, fine. There wasn't any email at the time, so I printed up, I went to the printer and printed up Mark Victor Hansen letterhead. I didn't know what his looked like, so I made up my own. And I wrote the letter, the copy of the letter, in Mark's name, sent it to him for editing. He said, better than anything I could have done, so no problem. And of course it just said, something like, I love this guy, Harv, he's the best, and the course is awesome, and I strongly recommend it to all my students if you're serious about success, and yada, yada, yada. And so again, what was Mark? He was my what? Influence. See, joint venture endorsed mailing means that they're nothing more than your what? Your pope, your influencer. See how what Marshall talked about? Well, it's the same stuff, but I'm just giving you practical tools to use it, yes? But it's the most important stuff. Unless you want to throw $5,000 into a newspaper ad. Do you? Hopefully you won't have graduated from this class. All right. And then so we sent his cover letter out with my same 8-page letter as before, that I was getting 0.2%, and my response rate leaped by more than 20 times. I did 4%. Good or good? Now in that business, very good. So I said, latched onto something here, so I called my buddy Jack Canfield. And then I called my other buddy Dan Kennedy and several other people that I'd known in this industry who have databases of people who have taken personal development or business courses before. Does anybody understand this at all? And I just phoned him up. And again, it was kind of unheard of before. I said, Mark's doing it to his list. His people are getting 20% off, plus he's getting 20% of the day. And they go, well, what do I have to do? Well, you don't have to do anything. All you have to do is send me your database, and I'll get my fulfillment, my database house to put it on track and send those, make the labels and send them out. And we'll track them. Now, first of all, when I got, just so you know, again, there's no email. So to get Mark's database, it wasn't like a press of a button. They delivered his database. It was like this. It was a box that came, and I pulled something out. Like the reels for the movies? The movie reels? But only about like this big, though. This big, all right? 6 of them stacked like this for 7,000 people. 7,000 people, 6 big, huge things like this. I couldn't even pick it up. You pick up 2 of them, you break your back. I don't know how could they pick up that box? That's how heavy it was. Yes? Anybody remember this at all? Now, so anyways, as I said, huge response rate, and as you can imagine, it worked pretty good. My very first course in the States, I was able to put in 372 fully paid students into the seat, and I never advertised one thing except for joint venture mailings. Fully paid at $700 a shot. Good or good? Nobody ever heard of Harv Eker, ever. but they did hear of Dan Kennedy, they did hear of Robert Allen, they did hear of Jack Canfield, they did hear of Mark Victor Hansen, they did hear of Brian Tracy, all the people who sent out mailers for me. So funny that it took them maybe 3-4 years before they asked me. That was interesting. They never got it, right? So anyways, as you can imagine, not much has changed. Today we don't do the printing thing because there's what? Email. Yes or yes? But we pretty well do the exact same thing. We cut a joint venture deal with people who have databases that fit our target market. We create an email letter. We create a what? An email letter and an endorsement letter for them to send out to their database that promotes a free evening or a teleclass or a book. We offer our programs on the back end. Their people show up. They get a little cut of the revenue. We win. They win. Their people win. Good for everybody. Yes or yes? Again, why is the endorsed mailer effective? It's the C word. What is it? Credibility. What is it? You're borrowing someone else's what? Credibility, that you don't have a relationship with those people, so you're borrowing their relationship. That's all you're doing. Now, so for yourself, anybody that you're thinking about who might do this with you, you might need to have them have an experience of your business first before they feel comfortable in sending out a mailer for you. Yes or yes? So the lame, no-brainer ones are, for example, let's say you own a restaurant, okay? There's no use trying to get the local insurance guy to endorse you if he hasn't eaten at your place. So what do? You invite him to eat at your place. You say, I've got an idea where we can help each other. I want you to come in and sample my food. Lunch is on me for you and your wife, for your partner, whatever. Come in and try it out. And they come in, and when they're there, of course, you say, listen, I've got this thought. You have a database of people in this area, and I have this wonderful food. Why don't we do this? Why don't you send out a recommendation? You ate a fantastic lunch at this incredible restaurant. It's wonderful. And for all my clients, here's a gift of you pay for one meal, and the second one is free. Pretty normal, right? You buy one, get one free. Yes or yes? But it's not normal when it comes from the insurance man in his mailer. Is it? That's not normal. And that's all the difference in the world between broke people and rich people. Say, I want to be rich. So I borrow other people's credibility with my same promotion. See? Same promotion. Their credibility. Their list. They've written a little thing for you. Okay, now, for example, if you're a website designer, we had a website designer last year who did the same thing. With permission, you do some revisions complimentary for someone with a large database of your target audience. Understand? So you see, let's say you're a web designer, and you see George Smith's database, his company, would be perfect for you to get business from. So you go to George Smith and you say, listen, I looked at your website. I'm a website designer. I think I could do a lot better. Complimentary, with no change to you, on a blind site, I will make a new site for you, and you check it out. And here's the deal. If you like this site and you want to use this site, it's free. I'm going to give it. I'm going to give you a $5,000 service for free. And the only catch is very simple. If you like it, will you do an endorsed mailer for me to your database? And what's he probably going to say? It's free. I don't have to do it. I have no obligation. You're just going to do it. You're not going to touch mine at all. And I'm going to get a chance to see a whole new website for myself built up. And all I have to do is, if I like it, of course I'll send a letter for you. Yes or yes? Not every single person, but that's how you do it. Get them to sample your experience. Okay. Again, what is the best database that you want to use? Those who what? Those who purchased a similar what? Product or service to you, or bought in a similar way. In short, you sell sports cars to people who have proven they like sports cars by buying them before. So we do most of our JVs with people who have a database of customers who have purchased seminars before. We'd like it to be our kinds of seminars, but we have several kinds of seminars. And if not seminars, at least personal development or success-based information. Do you understand? Do you understand? Raise your hand if you think it'd be very powerful. Now, let me ask you a question. Here's the difference. This is why we brought Paul and Tom in yesterday. What is it? You see, it's not a haphazard approach. It's not like, hey, what are we going to do for marketing today? Oh, I don't know. Maybe we'll see if anybody's around who's got like a database of ours, and we'll give them a call and see if they want to maybe JV with us, or I don't know. What do you want to do? No. We have 2 people in the office. All they do 8 hours a day is call prospective joint venture partners. That's all they do. Get it? It's a what? A system. They have a script that's written out. They have objection responses. They have methodology of how we can work with different groups and work with them and send out to our people. It's a system. Every day you press the button, and that's how you guys are in here. Does that make any sense to anybody here? That's how rich people work. It's not you wake up in the morning, what are we doing today? You do today what you did yesterday, because yesterday you made a fortune. Hello? Yes or yes? Give somebody a high five and say, this is making sense to me. Let's just get started here. Again, we're going to, at World's Greatest, you're going to work on your endorsement. You're going to write it. You're going to write the whole thing. So you can write it at home now if you can. That's good. If you don't need our help, write it at home. But for right now, what I want you to do is, who can you approach regarding doing an endorsed mailing for you? Who has a similar target database as you? So who can you approach? Don't say, well, I'm not sure if they would do it. Forget it. That's not the question. Who can you approach? Who's got a similar database to what you're looking for? What store does? What business does? What person does? What person does? Look, all you guys, part of the ambassador program is part of our JV method too, isn't it? Don't we send you a little letter to send out to all your friends? Yes or yes? To your database. We are utilizing, thank goodness, you're wonderful people. There's 1,000 people in this room almost. We're using 1,000 people's databases, borrowing them, asking you to send for us. Does everyone do it? No. Do allow you to do it? Yes. Good or good? Say, I can do this. As a system. Thank you. Okay, please stand up for the declaration. Please stand up for the declaration. Hands on your heart. I have a referral marketing system and an endorsed mailing system. I have a referral marketing system and an endorsed mailing system. Again.
I have a referral marketing system and an endorsed mailing system.
One more time.
I have a referral marketing system and an endorsed mailing system.
Turn to somebody, give a high five and say, you have a guerrilla business mind. I have a question. Be honest with me. Raise your hand if you really and truly believe. Tell me, how much money do you think, if you were to do what I just taught you to do, have a formalized referral system program working for you and a formalized joint venture endorsed system program working with you, tell me how much more money you would earn this year, in 1 year? Give me a number. Someone says 10,000. What else? 100,000. What else? $1 million. Raise your hand if you really truly believe if you put those two into place, you would increase your income at least, if you don't, once it's ready, you can earn at least $100,000 more. Do you see how a week, right? Of course. Well, question is, well, but why should you believe me? That's right. Someone's looking around the room, looking last week at the same course for about the same number of people. Look at our schedule. It's packed, right? You see the MMIs coming up? Thanks to you guys. Thank you so much. Thanks to you guys. You see those MMIs? Every one of them has at least 1,000 plus people. Some of them have 2,000, 2,500. We might have one that has 3,500 people in it for 3 days. But what we do just doesn't work. You understand? Listen, just look at me, guys. I am not blowing smoke here. Hey, let's dazzle you with 58 different process and things and systems that are the hottest, cutting edge. Who needs it? I don't use it. I'm doing all right. I'm going to give you what works. The best situation is you have a pope. You have an influencer. Yes? You can't beat that. We're just giving you 2 methodologies to do it in the real world. Yes or yes? That work. Don't get fancy. That's my motto. Don't get fancy, get rich. Say it nice and loud.
Don't get fancy, get rich.
Raise your hand if you like that. All right, here we go. Next one. Last one I want to work with you on. What's it say? Say it again. The back end. The back end. What is it? There's a saying that we use this. It says the headaches are in the front end of the business. The money's in the what? Back end. Why is that? Because the most expensive part of any business is getting the customer in the first time. Yes or yes? That's the most. Now, once they're in and they like you, then it's pretty easy to offer and sell them more. So, the number one, the absolute number one asset that you have, the number one asset you have is going to be what? Your own what? Customer database. Of all of your assets, that is your number one asset. Why? Right, repeat business. They're the people who trust you. You don't have to borrow someone else's credibility anymore. They already show that they like what you've got. Now all you have to do is support them with more alternatives. Yes or yes? That's all. That's how you do business. You want to run around, want to make business hard? Yes or yes? No, thank you. That was a trick question. You want to make business easy? Yes. Okay. If you want to make business hard, keep trying to find new customers. You want to make business easy, keep selling to the customers you already have. Now, the problem is, how do you get the customers in the first place? Yes or yes? So, that's why you have to create, and again, this is why we focus on this word, because rich people use systems. What do they use? And this is the Phoebe system. What's it called? And it stands for what? Thank you, front and back end. But here's the distinction. The distinction is that if you want to do really well, say, Harv, I want to do really well. No, better than that. Really well? Then you have to do something that other people don't do. Yes? And here's what you're going to do. Radically different. It's just a tiny little shift. Tiny. And that is, you're going to create a what? A system for what? This is the difference. See, most people don't have any system. So by having a system, you will just multiply by 1,000. But this is the thing. if they do have a methodology or a system, it's almost always one of them. They're good at bringing them in. Man, can we fill the room? We can fill the store. We can fill that hopper of the database. People, I get 50,000 visits on my website a minute. Ha ha ha! Then how come you're broke? Well, I don't know. Or, you know what? We have the best service on the planet, the best product. Once we get a customer, they're our customer forever. Then why are you broke? Well, we can't find the customer in the first place. But if they do find us somehow, they love us. Does anybody know anybody in those categories? Yeah, but we're different because we're not fancy. We're rich. And we understand you have to systemize. But the difference that we do is we have how many systems? Thank you. 2 complete, separate, distinct systems. One does one job, one does the other job. We happen to be very good at both. Say, I'm good at both. I'm good at bringing them in. I'm great at keeping them in. That's why I'm rich. Hello? Is this simple? Give someone a high five and they say, this is simple. Okay. So, how many systems do you need? Thank you. 2 systems. So you've seen me draw this 58 times, but again, everything looks different when you're in a different place, in your time, in your life, and a different mindset. Yes? Are you guys learning a lot? Yes. Even though it's really simple? Yes. Even though I don't take an hour and a half to show you one little concept? Yes. But you needed that. You have to understand the brilliance. But I just take what Marshall talks about and show you practical ways to use it. One, I'm going to talk to Marshall about him doing his piece and then me following right behind them and saying, boom, 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 let's see how we put it into practice. Right? Because that'd be an awesome team because I could never do what he does. I mean, my brain cells just don't, I guess I don't have enough of them. I don't know. I just figure out, hey, this is the way, I got to put it. If anything you show me, I'm just going to go, okay, so what do I do with it? Is anybody else like that? They talk, and I go, so what? Like, what do you do with it? What do I do? What do I do now? Tell me what to do. Can I do something with this? I mean, he was like, well, did you not understand what I said? I think I did. Well, what do I do with it? I'm just like that. Yes? And a lot of people are not, but I get it. So you need both because I'll tell you what, I could just sit here and tell you what to do, but if you don't have the theory behind it, your mind won't buy into it. So what good is it? I'll tell you what to do. You go, I'm not doing that. Got it? That's how learning is. All right. So, what the heck was I talking about? Oh, yeah. Something I showed you before. I'm telling you, if I can do it, just say it. Where's my warriors? Where are ya? One ho, ready? Ho. What is it? If he can do it, if he can do it, if they can do it, one ho. Ho. So you use other people as models, right? They can do it, you can do it. Anything. So this is called the funnel. What's it called? It's called the front end, back end funnel. And let's just take a seminar business because it's very, very simple and you can see it right in front of you. So if it was a seminar business, we might have, for example, let me just show you. It doesn't matter what business you're in. I'm just throwing numbers out here. But the point is this. You have to have a method and materials to expose your first item. What item? Your first item. The front end. You've got to have channels to get them in the first time. So your channel, your original channel, does that have to be expensive or inexpensive? Inexpensive in what? In what? Money and what? Money and time. Inexpensive. Low time, low money to get them in. Because people don't want to do a high risk at that time, right? It's got to be easy. Say, I make it easy to get in. This is where you get the yogurt sample. Come in for a free sample of yogurt. Here, you want to taste the yogurt? What flavor you want to taste? Chocolate. Okay, great. Try chocolate. Yeah, that's okay. I'll taste the maple. Yeah, maple. Oh, I love that maple. That's great. Let's buy one. Now you got a customer for life because they never tasted maple before. But you imagine going to a yogurt store. Well, yeah, I wonder what that maple tastes like. Oh, I don't know. I don't feel like chocolate today. I think I'll just leave. Right? So they can taste what you want. So it's a taster. Say, I want to give them a taster. I want to give them a taster. Right? Because you have a great dye val. Get it? You have a great value, so you want to give them a what? Taster. So it's got to be low risk. So here's a free preview, free teleclass, a book, 20 bucks. Everyone can do that. Everyone can do those things, yes? Yeah, I don't start with a, hey, my name is Harv Ecker, and I have a Guerrilla Business School course, and here's 3,000 bucks. Walk in. You're going to learn a lot. They're going, I don't know you. How do I know I'm going to learn a lot? I give you $3,000 in 6 days of my time. Are you kidding me? Who the hell are you? Understand? That's how it works. All right. So you get them in, easy. Then you glide them through an escalating back end, whatever business you're in. Right? So you got a dress store, a fashion store. Instead of bringing, we have new dress line came in, and the average price is $800 to $1,000. Well, you can do that. You can do that, or you can say, come in and meet. Gustovio Vespucci, the designer from Gucci, who's going to be in and giving a free lecture on and a free pass to the opening of this movie theater. Everyone come in on this day, Saturday. He'll be in, wine and cheese. Which one's going to draw more people in? The first one or the second one? The second one. You're going to have a crowd of people in your store, right? And then, you're going to, from that point, you can move them into what you got. And then the people who are in the front, in the store, and then you've got the what? You've got the back room, where you only have dresses starting at $2,000, but it's only for special conference customers, and it's only private, one at a time. Do you see how this works? In any business? Yes or yes? Say any business. It's the same stuff. All right, so you got your 1 day for $100, your 3 day for $1,500, your 5 day, then those people go to the 5 day for $3,000, a cruise for $5,000. Learning cruise? Simple. We'll guide them through. Say, I can do that. Now, there's two systems. Where's the two systems? Where are the two systems? There's a blue system and a green system. You see them? See, this here has to be the system right there. You got to get them into the first thing. Say, I get them into the first thing. I got to have a system for that. It could be several channels, but a system. Systemize this. You can count on it. Say, I have to be able to count on it. Now, I have a question. Close your eyes. Put your hand on your heart. How would it feel, think this for a second, if you had a system you could absolutely count on, bank on, for certain that every day it was driving dozens or hundreds of people into your full? It worked all the time. Every day you press the button, you open the door, you open the computer, and there's another 10, 50, 100, 200 people who found you. Open your eyes. How does that feel? Because you can what? Count on it. The biggest problem with most people in this room is you can't count on your income in business. You can't count on a real high one. You probably can't count on a base of about a couple of million a year net in your pocket. Base. Understand? Raise your hand if you wouldn't mind counting on that. Right? Because you know there's a method that brings people in. You can count on it. That's called a system. You know it. And now, what would happen if, close your eyes one more time. Close your eyes, put your hand on your heart, close your eyes. So you know you've got a method of getting them in the door. And now, not only when they're in the door, but you have several, how many? Several other offerings that are systemized, a method of offering these other products and services that you can count on, that when people buy the first thing, many of them continue to buy everything you have. And it escalates in value and cost each time, including a super high ticket item, whatever business you're in, whether it's $2,000 or $10,000 or $50,000 or $100,000 item, that many of them buy. And it's a system. You can count on it. Open your eyes. How does that feel? Well, welcome to my world. Whatever business I'm in, that's the world it's going to be, because this is what I do intentionally. I will create. I will not stop until I have a front-end methodology and systemize it. I will not stop until I have a back-end methodology and systemize it, so I can what? Count on it and sleep well at night. Good or good? That's why now we're going to go back and run the thing together. What did I say with your message was the key thing I wanted everyone to commit to having? What position starts with an E? What is it? The expert. And what did I say all experts have to do to show their expertise? They have to what? Deliver what? Education information, yes? And what better way to give someone a low-risk taste of you than provide information and education as one of your primary what? Front-end piece systems. You see? You see? Everybody here needs information that you're delivering. Well, I'm not an expert. Well, then become an expert or gather expert. I cut hair. The 10 hottest hairstyles for the coming year. Get it out of a magazine. On the bottom, put glamour. Did this come together for you? Does it come together for you? Yes. All right. Can you do this? Yes. All right. So here's what we're going to do. Quickly, find a partner or two. Your partner or two. And just quickly, we have a limited amount of time here. I want you to share with your partner what are some of your front end and back end offerings. And listen to this. This one over here better be a huge ticket. Remember the first day. The difference, the biggest difference is, and I'm sure either Paul or Tom maybe mentioned that yesterday, that one of the biggest differences, the fastest way to change your profitability in your business is to increase your average transaction amount. And the fast way to do that is to what? Offer at least several what? High ticket items, or at least one huge one. Yes or yes? There it is, right there. Isn't this cool? Business just wrapped up. So easy, so simple. So, share with your partner, what is your front end? What are some of the things you can offer on your front end to draw people in? Be as specific as possible. Then, how can you lead them? What other back end offerings do you have for them? And what's your big... As you know, there are three, this is dear to my heart, so listen closely. There are three areas to every business. What are they? Marketing, operations, and production. Thank you. Although they are all very important, which do you have to focus on most of your attention to make serious money? I hope we've driven that home. Why? Tell me why. That's right, because without marketing, you have no customers. Without customers, you have no what? Money. Again, Howard Ruff, one of my mentors. I changed my life with this statement. I never thought marketing, I hated sales. Hated it. Now I'm passionate not about it, but about delivering the value in strategic ways to get people involved that can help their lives. Yes or yes? Because I understand I'm what? Solving what? Problems. Yes or yes? He said, if I could teach my kids anything, it would be the skill of marketing. Because with that skill, they could be successful in any business they chose for the rest of their... Get it? I believe, again, personal belief, that marketing is at least 80% of success. 80%. Why? Because you can be fair to Midland in almost every other part of the business. But if you're a strong marketer, you will make a fortune. Do you understand this? If you're a weak marketer, chances are you'll always be broke or close to it. Let me say this right now. Let me say this. Please look at this. I have never met a strong marketer who wasn't fairly rich, who wasn't financially successful. Never once, ever in my life have I ever met a strong marketer who wasn't financially successful. Not once. Have you? Unless they are an up and downer type of thing, and they got some blueprint issues going on, or criminals or something weird. But we're not talking about that. We're talking about regular people. Do you understand what I'm saying? It's the key. It's the key.